Hello, and welcome to another exciting chapter on Redemptive Diaries. I remain your guide in this journey, Marylene, Gabriel, and I am so excited to have you here with us. Now, if this is your first time, Redemptive Diaries is all about projecting the testimonials of men who stand as living testimonies and proofs that God exists. I do hope that in this journey, for as many who are yet to give God a chance in their life, we'll see through the lives of many how God has rescued, how God saves, how God transforms, and will give God a chance in their life. For the many who have had beautiful experiences, please don't keep them to yourself. Let's come together and let the whole world know what God is in the business of doing. Sure, you may not want to show your face, but we've made provisions, and that is why if you'd like to partner with what God is doing, very simple, you need to follow the link in my bio or on the platform to which you are watching from. Secondly, don't forget to like, to share, comment, subscribe, put on your notification bell so that you will be the first to watch each chapter. Now, going into the mainstream of the day, our testimonial today comes from Sandra Akpa Adejoh. She is based in Abuja, Nigeria, 33 years old, and doing amazing things for God. You can follow or check her out on her page by the handles projected on the screen. So let's get to it.
Okay, so my life before God, it wasn't really dramatic, like I was a bad girl like that. But I had a very regular life. My parents were Catholics, so we were born into a Christian home, normal life. They were morally upright people, and so we basically were being groomed in that manner. Go to church, we're introduced to church and all of that. But I didn't really know I didn't really know beyond that. Church is the proper thing to do. Be disciplined and all of those things. So I would say that I had a very normal, regular, morally upright life. I say, yeah. So it was not all very dramatic, like in the world can be dramatic, but it was not all fully Christ. So it was just somewhere just morally okay. I lost my dad when I was 11 years old, and my dad was mainly a very key point of our family. My dad was, I would say, my dad was my best friend, my dad was my hero, my dad was many things. He was my teacher, he was my schooler, he was the parent that beat me most, yes. But aside all of that, he was very loving, he was all of it. Most of the things I know about life, generally, discipline, God, school, all of those things, my dad basically was the one that frontiered the tutoring of all of those things in our lives. And he would beat you, but he had a way of loving. My dad is so hungry a lot, he used to buy us things a lot. Generally, I loved him dearly. I still love him though. Yes, but then we woke up one day and my dad was sick and he was just not getting better. And then, as a child, there was this day randomly where it just came to my mind that, oh, what if you no longer have your dad? Now that I understand life, understand it better, but that just came to my mind, and I was like, I imagined life without my dad, and it didn't fit well, and I was like, nah, that can't work, But we woke up one day, and my dad was gone. It affected all of us, differently. It affected my mom, my siblings, but it had a very huge effect on me personally. I felt all of a sudden, I felt very incomplete. I felt very lost. I felt very quiet. I felt very stranded. I felt deficient. I felt like something was all of a sudden wrong with my life. It was so bad that it took me years. Now I can tell people that, oh, my dad is late. But for years after my dad died, when I went to school, I couldn't tell even the closest people to me that my dad was gone, because I used to feel like I was deficient. There was something wrong about my life. Like I didn't qualify all of a sudden. You know, when I saw people with their parents, and I didn't have, it just made me feel very, like I had some kind of plague or some kind of deficiency in my life. You know, I was disadvantaged all of a sudden. Yet, and so we came back to school one day. I was in JSS2. Yes, in JSS2, we were resuming JSS2, and then the first class we had this teacher, Auntie Josephine. She came around, and then she was supposed to teach us social study. She started asking us how our holidays went. We started talking, people sharing different stories, and then she started talking about what was important, what was not important. And then that's how we dived into talking about Jesus. She started telling us about Pastor Nick, spoke about everybody, spoke about how that you might think you are disadvantaged, but you're not disadvantaged. She gave an example of Pastor Nick, you know, how that he doesn't have hands, the things he does for God, and all of those things. And, you know, she started talking how that God was a very important person, a loving father, a caring friend, all of those things. And, you know, somehow through those conversations, she was speaking to every part of me that, you know, I felt I had a problem. She spoke to the part that I felt like I was disadvantaged. She spoke to the fact that I felt very incomplete. I felt very lost. And then, most blessing of all, she spoke about the fact that God is a father and a good friend. He could be all of those things if you allowed him. And it was all of these things I had lost in one person. And, you know, and so by the end of the conversation, by the end of the class, she would lead us into a salvation prayer. And I just felt like, this person she talks about, it's not like the God I have been introduced to, even in going to church. Nobody has really spoken about it. And I miss my dad. And so if I would just get somebody that can fill up that position for the time, why not just jump on it? Yet. And that's how I made the salvation prayer. So that was my turning point. That is the best part. So yes, you remember that I said that what brought me to Jesus was the fact that, you know, he was introduced to me as a fatherly figure and a friend. And yes, that has been the major experience for me when I became born again. Mostly that's what brought me in the first place. And so those were part of the things I was looking for. And you know, that's how me and God started our journey. The fatherhood of God is what I've experienced most of all, and his friendship. You know, it has been tremendous. At the beginning part, it was so comforting. It took a while. It didn't just, like, you know, burst everywhere. It wasn't like magic. Everything just became all right. I learned on the journey, you know, learned to trust, learned to hope, learned to you know, let him lead. You know, learned to let him comfort me when I needed it. Learned to let him provide. You know, sometimes I used to struggle with God and be like, I needed my dad, this kind of stuff. You know, but I have seen the fatherhood of God. I have learned how to grow in friendship with God. It has been tremendously blessing. Yes, it's not always fun, you know. There are times where God would scold me. There are times when he would discipline me, and the discipline times are very difficult and annoying. Yes, and sometimes you have to wait. Those times are tough and very difficult, but I have learned, and in all, it has been gorgeous blessing. Yes, if there's anything like that, because God has catered for me, God has showed up, God has been there, God has provided for me, He has protected me, He has gifted me things, people that I did not deserve. And most importantly, I am so blessed with the fact that I know that whatever it is I am going through, whether happy times, whether sorrowful times, whatever it is, I know for sure that I am not alone. And the person that is with me is not just one extraordinary person that, will just only share in my pain and that's the end of it. No, the person that is walking this journey with me has solutions, he has leaderships, he has things, power to, take down mountains, take down things if they need to be, all of those things. And so it has truly been an experience, and it's been lovely. It's been lovely. Okay, so if I'm to encourage any person, probably maybe if you have been through what I went through, or if you're standing currently where I was standing, or maybe your experience is not the same as mine, but you might be going through something maybe more difficult or tougher than what I experienced. But one thing I would say to you is that just try God. What else do you have to lose? If you're where you are currently means you must have lost something very precious. You must have, thrown away, or somebody must have stolen something, or you're in a state where you feel confused or you feel different kind of emotions. Just try Him. Just try Him. It won't cost you. There's nothing else you have to lose primarily. If at the end of the day you try and it doesn't work, you will know that at least you tried one more time. But I tell you, God doesn't fail. He doesn't fail anywhere. He has not failed them that I know them. So just try. What quote would I say now? I think what I would say about my story is that God showed up for me when everything was lost, dark, and incomplete. And He just shone the light. So, my favorite Bible verse is Romans 8:28. And that's because it says all things is one thing I have come to believe on my journey of life. Nothing, absolutely nothing happens about my life that takes God by surprise. And it gives me comfort. All things work together for good to them that love the Lord and are called according to His purposes. Yeah, that's my favorite Bible verse.
One exciting thing for me today is that all that you seek can be found in God, not in things, not in persons. Probably you were looking in the wrong direction. And like our testimonial said today, just give God a try. Thank you, Sandra. And thank you. Now, this is the end of today's testimonial, but not the end of what God is doing and set out to do. Please do well to participate. I am so expectant to hear from you. Now, until I come your way the next time, remain saved.